Let's get straight out to Joe LaForgia. He's live along the scene of that accident on I-94 that we've been telling you about here since the start of the newscast. Joe, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Brett, you're taking a look at the Greyhound bus that was involved in this accident with a semi-tractor trailer. You can see the front of that bus just demolished. We're on eastbound I-94 near the climax exit. And as we look at those pictures, I want to bring in Kalamazoo County Sheriff Richard Fuller to tell us about this accident. Give us an update, Sheriff. How many injuries? You got a bus involved here in a semi. What's the situation right now?
What we have is a semi truck and a bus came into connection with one another about the 88-mile marker. There were people inside the bus that were injured, minor injuries. 11 people were transported to the hospital, and that includes the bus driver himself. The bus driver basically was pinned inside the vehicle very tightly to the point where we couldn't get him out. We had a doctor on scene almost the entire incident that was monitoring the vitals and the patient's condition to the point where the doctor is now telling me once we've got him out, they did an assessment, and on the scene it looks like he's going to be fine. He's being transported to the hospital to get checked out further.
It's incredible that he's going to be okay when, again, you take a look at the front of that bus.
Right.
You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you expect this kind of outcome when you take a look at this?
When you see the front end of a bus impaled on the back of a semi-trailer, you're not confident that at the end of the day, everybody's going to walk away from that incident. Right now, it really appears that is the case. So we're very fortunate.
When we take a look at accidents here along I-94, construction always seems to be a contributing factor, but we're in a pretty wide area here. Did that have anything to do with it? Do you know what caused this accident?
This accident very well could have had something to do with the ramp. The semi-truck might have been getting onto the highway. We're investigating that further, trying to make sure that we talk to both drivers further, as well as all the witnesses. We have several people on the bus that are witnesses, as well as some of the traffic that was near the accident at the time.
No definitive answers as to...
No definitive answers at this point. You know, we have one vehicle that has rear-ended the other vehicle, and so we always have to go through the entire investigation. We're mapping the scene right now. The actual collision was a good couple hundred feet back the other way, and the truck driver was able to guide the accident to the edge of the road, being that the two vehicles were connected.
Okay, so this truck driver, realizing what's happened, he wants to try to get it to at least a safe stop, so he kind of...
Right, he's able to get
trailers it in.
Yep, he trailered it off to the edge of the road, basically.
Amazing. Traffic down here, I-94 shut down eastbound, westbound obviously shut down, eastbound down to a crawl. What can you tell us when this might be cleaned up?
Well, we're hoping that it's cleaned up here within the next couple of hours, because we have to map the scene and make sure that everything's settled for the accident investigation before we open it up. Our difficulty comes, the westbound lanes are closed, but we have traffic guided through the city of Galesburg right now. So that is slow, but it's not as dangerous as we have on the east side. What always happens at these accident scenes is everybody has to stop and look. I've watched several drivers, in fact truck drivers even, driving by with their handheld cameras trying to take video of an accident on the other side of the highway. That causes nothing but trouble. We need people to continue the mission of driving their vehicle. Get down the road safely without harming yourself or others.
Thank you, Sheriff Richard Fuller from Kalamazoo County. We want to reiterate what the sheriff just told us. Swing around here, you see eastbound I-94 near the climax exit. It is moving somewhat at this point, but still very slow. And as the sheriff said, that is their really biggest concern right now. They know the 11 folks on the bus, no serious injuries, including that driver. And again, when you look at the front of this bus, it is amazing that driver is going to be okay, or appears to be okay. But back here on the eastbound side, when you see this traffic running around, their big concern now is the Gawker delays. Somebody looking at the accident, somebody taking pictures of the accident, stopping and causing another accident. As you can see, all this traffic here, you could have a real chain reaction mess, and you don't want something like this to happen on the other side where they're trying to clean this up. So that is a word to the wise for the folks traveling on I-94 right now. Avoid it altogether if you can around the climax area, around exit 85 and between exit 85 and 88. Avoid it at all if you can. When you're going through Galesburg, maybe go to the south instead if you know another route there, to try to just keep this area clear as they get this mess cleaned up. But we want to recap again. Take a look at the front of that Greyhound bus. That driver, it appears, will be okay. 11 people on that bus injured, taken to area hospitals. An unknown number number of other people refused treatment at the scene. They were okay. Nothing life-threatening at this point. They were able to get that bus driver out. It looks like he is going to be okay. But again, I-94 between westbound between mile marker 88 and 85 will be shut down for at least another hour or so while they start the accident investigation and obviously try to get this cleaned up. Back to you.
We're going to take you back to that breaking news now. A bus crashing into a semi on I-94 near Climax.
24-hour News 8's Ken Colker is live at Borges Hospital, learning exactly how many patients are there at various hospitals in the area as well. Ken, what do you know?
Yeah, Brett and Emily, we're outside the ER, across the street from the ER at Borges Hospital. Now, here's what we know. This led to a mass casualty code here at the hospital, pulling in more docs and more staff to treat the patients. Hospital officials tell us that they're treating 5 patients here at Borges. They say they're still being evaluated, so we won't know their conditions, they say, until maybe about an hour. Now, we also talked to hospital officials at nearby Bronson Hospital in Kalamazoo. Now, they tell us that they're treating 4 patients with non-critical injuries and that they have another patient, a 5th patient, headed there. Now, that makes 10 patients. Earlier, we heard from the sheriff who said there were 11 patients in all. It is not clear where that other patient is being treated at this point. Of course, this is a story we'll continue to follow and continue to provide updates on. Live in Kalamazoo, Ken Colker, 24-hour News 8.
We're staying on top of a major traffic situation near Climax in Kalamazoo County.
A tour bus crashing into a semi. Luckily, there are no serious injuries. We're told you a few minutes ago, but now we want to check back in with 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFergie. He's live just feet away from that scene. Joe.
Yeah, Brett, Emily, we want to show you right now the situation here on I-94. We have to make this quick, and you can see why they're getting ready to open up I-94 westbound in the next half hour. You see the bus down there. You saw the bus in our live shot earlier. The front end just smashed. They were able to get the driver out. 11 injuries, according to what the sheriff was telling us. New information from Greyhound here in the last couple of minutes. They tell us that was 36 passengers. 36 passengers were on board that bus. It was going from Toronto to Chicago. And again, 11 injuries on the bus, taken to the hospital, all of them non-life-threatening, including that bus driver, which was amazing when you look at the front of that bus. We also understand several other minor injuries. A lot of these folks refusing care on the scene, said they'd take care of themselves. But again, let's take a look at I-94. We are just west of the Climax exit. That's exit number 88. And as you can see, the Sheriff's Department, State Police starting to clear the scene. They're asking us to move over so they can get this expressway open. The investigation underway as well. We will have updates for you later today on 24-hour News 8 and throughout the afternoon on WoodTV.com. Back to you.